What if I told you humanity once held all the world's knowledge in one place, and then, someone burned it to the ground? The Library of Alexandria wasn't lost to time, it was erased. But the real question isn't who burned it, it's why. Because what if the greatest cover-up in history wasn't about power, but about keeping the truth from you? Don't forget to like and follow for more stories like this. Let's continue. In the ancient city of Alexandria, where the Mediterranean kissed the shores of Egypt, there once stood a building so grand that it was said to hold all the knowledge of the world, the Great Library of Alexandria. Imagine a place where scrolls whispered secrets of lost empires, where philosophers debated the shape of the cosmos, and where discoveries centuries ahead of their time were quietly recorded in ink and papyrus. Yet today, nothing remains, no walls, no ashes, only silence. But why? What truly happened to the Library of Alexandria? Was it burned in a single tragic fire, or did something far darker unfold, a deliberate act of erasing human knowledge itself? The story you're about to hear stretches across centuries, tangled in myth, politics, religion, and human greed. This is the real reason the Library of Alexandria was burned. Let's begin in 331 BC, when Alexander the Great founded the city that would bear his name. Alexandria was built as a dream, a city of light, learning, and conquest. After Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy took control of Egypt, turning the city into the beating heart of the Greek world. And it was under the Ptolemies that the library was born, a massive complex attached to the Mouseion, or Temple of the Muses, a university before universities existed. Inside its halls were scholars from Greece, Egypt, Persia, and India, translating texts from every language they could find. Some say the library held over 700,000 scrolls, containing works on medicine, astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, and even maps of lands unknown. It was not just a library, it was the brain of the ancient world. But with knowledge comes power, and power breeds enemies. The first whispers of fire came during the rule of Julius Caesar in 48 BC. During his war with Pompey, Caesar found himself trapped in Alexandria. In a desperate move, he ordered his ships in the harbor to be set ablaze, a defensive tactic meant to block his enemies. But the flames leapt from the docks, carried by the Mediterranean wind, and spread to the city. Ancient writers claim that the fire reached the warehouse that stored scrolls belonging to the library. Thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands, of texts burned that day. The people of Alexandria watched the smoke rise, and with it, the knowledge of generations. Yet, many historians believe this was not the end. The library was too vast, too powerful to be destroyed in one night. Some scrolls survived, scholars rebuilt, copied, preserved. The heart of learning still beat, faintly, but alive. But then came religion, empire, and fanaticism. By the 3rd century AD, Alexandria had changed hands many times from Greeks to Romans to Byzantines. Its identity shifted from a beacon of reason to a battlefield of belief. In 391 AD, a Christian emperor, Theophilus, ordered the destruction of all pagan temples. The Serapeum, a temple that once held part of the library's collection, was torn down by mobs. Scrolls were burned, statues shattered, and scholars driven out. This was no accident. It was the death of an era, reason losing to faith, curiosity silenced by fear. But the final blow would come 2 centuries later. In 642 AD, when Muslim armies conquered Alexandria under Caliph Omar, a chilling command was said to have been given. If the books in the library agree with the Quran, they are unnecessary. If they disagree, they are heretical. Destroy them. Historians debate whether this story is myth or truth, but what is certain is that by this time, the great library had vanished completely. Its scrolls lost, its knowledge scattered. Yet here's where the story deepens, because some say the library never truly died. Evidence suggests that many of its scrolls were secretly smuggled to other cities before the fires. Ancient universities in Timbuktu, Baghdad, and even India show records of texts once found in Alexandria, as if the knowledge escaped, waiting to be reborn. Could it be that the library's wisdom helped spark the Islamic Golden Age, the Renaissance, or even modern science itself? What if, in trying to destroy knowledge, humanity only spread it further? Still, one haunting question remains: who truly wanted the library gone? Was it Caesar's accident, Christian zeal, or political intent? Some believe that the library was deliberately erased by those who feared what it represented: freedom of thought. Knowledge is power, and those who control knowledge control the world. To rulers, religion, and conquerors alike, a place that questioned everything was a threat too great to exist. The library's disappearance may not have been a tragedy, but a plan. And so, the Library of Alexandria became more than a ruin, it became a warning. A warning about what happens when fear outweighs curiosity, when ideology kills discovery. Imagine what we could have known if it had survived: ancient blueprints of machines, maps of forgotten continents, cures for diseases that ravaged civilizations. Imagine scrolls that spoke of electricity, flight, or even the stars. Ancient sources hint at discoveries lost. One scroll described as revealing the nature of the cosmos and the fire of the heavens. Another told of machines that move without beasts. Were these myths, or glimpses of technology far ahead of their time? Some researchers argue that the ancients had knowledge we still struggle to explain. The Antikythera mechanism, the Baghdad batteries, the maps of Piri Reis, could these be the scattered remnants of Alexandria's lost archive? If so, then the library wasn't just a collection of scrolls, it was a vault of human potential. And that's why its destruction matters, because knowledge doesn't just disappear, it hides. Buried in the sands of Egypt, in the ruins of the Serapeum, archaeologists have found fragments, charred papyrus, ink traces, names of books long lost. Each fragment whispers, "We were here." And perhaps, one day, someone will find the chamber that still holds what the fire could not burn, the mind of humanity itself. The real reason the Library of Alexandria was burned wasn't just war, religion, or time, it was fear. Fear of what humans can become when we know too much. Because knowledge frees us, but freedom terrifies those who rule. And yet, even in its ashes, the library lives on, in every scientist who questions, in every thinker who dreams, in every voice that refuses to be silenced. The story of Alexandria isn't just about loss, it's about resurrection. Because every time a human learns something new, the flames that once consumed those scrolls flicker back to life, not to destroy, but to illuminate. The library may be gone, but its fire still burns, in us.